Now for our story. Now that Randy Lane was considering opening a real estate office, his cousin Peggy could hardly wait for him to get started. She'd persuaded Randy to let her work for him in the office when he had his business venture underway. Meanwhile, she had a lot of time on her hands. Today, after she'd done the chores and baked a cake for dinner, the new Mrs. Meade sat for a while in the pleasant living room of the little house, deep in thought. She was thinking of the strange relationship which had developed between her cousin and Kit Calvert, the girl who had once stolen Bill from her. That was all over now. But Kit was still a threat to Peggy, for the young woman believed Randy was becoming involved with Ben Calvert's daughter. Suddenly, Peggy got up and ran across to Aunt Mary's house. She found Randy in his room, dressed in his best suit. He was standing before the mirror, combing his hair.
Hi, Peg. Sit down on the bed.
Thanks, Randy.
Well, how's the world treating my favorite bride?
All right, I guess.
Oh, just all right. Well, I thought brides were supposed to be radiant.
Golly, you can't be radiant all the time.
Oh, don't tell me that. You'll destroy all my illusions.
Kind of dressed up, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Going somewhere in particular?
Uh-huh.
I think I know where you're going.
Do you?
Yes. Randy, did you see the paper this morning?
Why, yes.
It seems Kit was arraigned yesterday for perjury.
That's right.
She pleaded guilty.
Of course, Peggy. She is guilty.
You don't seem to be very shocked.
Well, but, Angel, why should I be? I've known all along Kit was guilty. Everybody knows it.
And yet, knowing that she's guilty of perjury and all the things she's done, you're willing to be attentive and sympathetic and go over there all the time. You're going over to see her this afternoon, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Randy.
Hey, what's biting you, Peggy? You know I've been going over to the sanitarium to see Kit. I have been for weeks.
That's just the trouble.
Oh, what's wrong with it, for the love of Mike?
A lot of things. Kit Calvert. Maybe you have a shorter memory than I have, Randy.
Or it could be that I don't believe in holding grudges. When a person makes a sincere effort to change, Peggy, I believe he should be given a break.
Randy, you don't really believe Kit's changed, do you? I believe she's the same as she's always been deep inside.
Well, Peg, don't forget you haven't seen Kit for months. And I've been seeing her almost every day.
You don't need to tell me that. I'm well aware of your frequent trips to see her. Don't you see, Randy? It's because I'm so fond of you. I just hate to see her take advantage of you.
I don't understand you, Peggy. It's not like you to be vindictive.
It's not that I'm vindictive, but I know Kit. I know how clever she is when it comes to men.
I hate to say this, but you disappoint me, Peg, terribly.
Well, so am I disappointed in you. Letting a girl like Kit take you in, wrap you around her little finger.
I'm not being taken in. Darn it all, can't you get it through your silly head?
Randy.
Well, I don't care. I tell you, Kit's a friend of mine. She's made mistakes, yes. But that girl's doing the best she can to make up for things she did. She's sincerely trying to become a better person. And that being the case, I intend to help her as much as I can.
All right, Randy, go ahead then. Let her make a fool of you. Just because Kit's beautiful, because she's clever enough to get around you. Oh, I can't stand it. Watching you go right ahead probably ruin your life.
You're talking absolute nonsense.
It's just because I love you. I don't want you to get all tangled up in...
Oh, gosh, honey, I didn't mean to treat you like that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, too, Randy. Terribly sorry.
What's the matter with us, anyway? We haven't had a fight like this in years.
I know.
Well, let's stop it right now. Here, baby. Let's dry those tears. There. Gosh, if Bill knew I'd shouted at you and made you cry, he'd probably jump me. And it would serve me right at that.
It's my fault. I know it's none of my business, Randy. Only I'm so afraid you'll get into something you can't get out of. Sometimes a woman can see a thing happening when it goes right over a man's head. That's why I do wish you'd think it over.
Peggy, dear, I know what I'm doing. Don't worry, please.
If only you'd stay away from Kit now that she's going to be well again. Randy, I'm not being an alarmist. Honestly, I'm not.
Well, I'm sure you don't think you are, Peggy, but... Well, honey, I have to do what seems right to me.
Then you're going over there today? You're going to keep on seeing Kit?
Yes, Peggy. I am. In fact, I'm leaving right now.
Well, okay. Goodbye, Randy.
Goodbye, baby. Oh, but please don't look so doleful. Everything's going to be all right.
I'm not complaining, Randy, but you did say you'd be here at 2. And it's 3:15.
I'm sorry, kid. I was delayed.
Well, anyway, you're here now. I'm terribly glad you came. I missed you, Randy. Yesterday was quite hectic, you know. Seems like years since I had a chance to talk to you.
Was it pretty bad, kid?
Awful.
I read in the paper that you'd been over at the courthouse for arraignment.
Yes.
Must have been kind of tough. You've been so sheltered here at the hospital, and being dragged over there, all the excitement. Well, you look swell, though. Not a bit nervous.
Well, I'm thankful for that anyway. Do you really think I look swell?
Oh, you bet. Well, honestly, I'm proud of the way you're taking all this. You're so calm and reasonable.
Well, Randy, the only thing holding me together is the hope I have for the future. When I think ahead, I feel as if I can go through practically anything. So long as I know I'll have what I want eventually.
That's a very wise attitude.
And yet, well, the future is so nebulous, Randy. It isn't as if I had anything definite to count on.
Well, very few people, I guess, have anything they can be definitely sure of. Well, living's a pretty chancy business when you come right down to it.
Yes, but... Oh, Randy, I think you know what I mean. You're the only person who can tell me what's in my future. The only one. Say it, Randy, please.
Well, kid,
Please, Randy. You do know what's in my mind, don't you?
Well, yes, I think so, kid.
And isn't the same thought in your mind, Randy? Tell me it is.
The main thing I have on my mind right now, kid, is your well-being.
Yes, darling, I know. That's why
I want you to be well again. To become the sort of person I believe you can be.
With your help?
Well, yes. You know I want to help you. That I'll stand by you.
Randy, they'll sentence me to prison. There's no question about that. It might be a year, 3 years, even longer. But I can stand it if I can be sure. You know what I'm trying to say. Well, won't you help me a little? I'm not used to being the one who... I'm afraid I'm blushing.
You look very charming. But there's no reason to be embarrassed. We ought to be at ease together, you and I. We're friends.
Just friends, Randy?
Oh, gosh, kid, you know what I mean. I want you to be happy.
Do you think I will be? When I come out of prison, will I be happy? Tell me I will, Randy.
Sure, kid. You'll be happy.
Now that I've heard you say that, I'm not afraid of anything. Because I know you wouldn't tell me unless you meant it. And you're the only person in the world who can make me happy.
And so Randy Lane found himself entangled, just as Peggy had warned him he might. He tried to evade Kit, but he realized with a sinking heart that the girl believed he had given her a promise concerning a future she expected to share with him. And yet the young man told himself, what else could he have said? He did want to reassure her, give her the feeling of security that she seemed to need so desperately. Now, it seemed, he'd pledged himself much more deeply than he intended.